motivation. Uh, been going through Reddits, other YouTube videos, and there's a lot of hate going on for this particular battlefield. People are upset, and as I kind of get it, but at the same time, we kind of reaped our own benefits on this one. There is a lot of criticism based on customization, gameplay. I guess some people are upset with the cheesy lines that these guys do at the end of matches. There's also a lot of hatred on the lack of a scoreboard and the rivalry that comes from that and the continuous lobbies, which is all understandable because those were features of prior games. But this is this isn't to hate on DICE. This is more of a appreciation to what they have given. So a lot of people are complaining that, you know, games aren't finished and there's a lot of features missing and there's not enough maps in rotation, so on and so forth. So DICE made one delay, right? And people went ape. They were upset. They said it was there was so much hatred going on in videos and subreddits and stuff like that. So they released the game, and I don't think they're happy with it, and we're acting like, you know, they rushed it and this and that. But, and the problem is we kind of made them rush, you know. We went crazy on them for not giving us footage and not letting us play and this and that. So it's like, okay, you wanted the game, here you go. And we got the game, and now we're complaining of all the things that are wrong with it. This is a usual pattern as far as I've noticed with Battlefield. They release the game, there's usually some problems, and within a month or so, they fix it. They release the game, and you get what you get, and there's a bunch of complaints, and they are usually pretty good about wrapping it up and getting their stuff together and really kind of anchoring into the complaints of the community, which is really awesome. They're pretty good on that. But the main thing that I got a problem with is the amount of hatred, like the amount of complaining and isolating the whole entire game's work and a few problems that are going to be fixed. They will fix them. And I'm pretty sure they're more than aware of the issues at hand. Like kind of like back there's a little bit of a rendering situation where you get ghosty characters. But really, all in all, the game isn't bad. That's the main thing I wanted to isolate is it's not bad. There are some issues, and it's to be expected. Anybody who is an avid fan of Battlefield should know that this is a regular situation. Am I condoning it as if, like, oh, it's fine, they can release unfinished things? No. But at the same time, like, we kind of reached our own situation on this one. I really like the animations like that people are complaining about. Like, that there's no entrance and exit animation. I kind of like it. It adds a more fluid feeling when it comes down to these things. I'm trying to do this live. I don't know how some of these people do it. Yeah, and all in all, I didn't even see it. All in all, I don't really think it's all that bad a game, and it's brand new. It's literally brand new. Like this, day one was yesterday. Well, day one of like the actual release. That is.
Don't come to me, please.
We've had a week prior to yesterday to get a good feel of the game and so on and so forth. And again, there were a little bit of, like, there were some hiccups, but again, that's also to be expected. This is definitely a brand new approach to what they've normally done, and Portal is pretty epic. They brought literally every decent Battlefield experience into one game, and you can play with the settings. You can create your own your own game, essentially. I mean, it makes it into a giant sandbox, which I was kind of shocked. I thought they were kind of shooting over the top with that, because that's a difficult feat to accomplish, and I don't think there's not a lot of people out here that are giving them credit for that one, because they literally opened up all the old games, all the old Battlefields, and remastered it in such a way that I really want that. They remastered it in such a way that they made it modern. They gave it the touch of life it needed, and they brought it in. They brought it into the current experience. And you can choose whether to bring in the weapon wheel. Well, not the weapon wheel, sorry. The customization, like, cross that we got, that I just used just recently.
Our troops have occupied Bravo sector. What's the status of our forces?
So you can choose to bring this in to the old games, which I think is epic.
We're running behind.
That's really cool in my opinion. Because some of it, like, customization on the go.
Lost control of one of our objectives.
I think it's a super awesome thing, because you can literally customize your weapon for each occasion. Where did that guy go? I saw him over there.
Alpha sector has been seized by hostiles.
Oh. Oh. I see what's the shield. Oh, I killed him. Cool. Although, is he gonna be a cool guy and revive me?
Invaders at Echo 2.
No. No. The real enjoyment of the game comes with when you're with friends. When you're squatted up, that's you kind of get the full experience out of this, and I really can't take away from that. It's a very unfortunate thing, because there are some people that jump on here and don't really have too many friends that have the game yet. So they're stuck on their own, which is kind of an isolating experience. You kind of have to get creative at that point. And that's where the game can get a little repetitive because you're kind of stuck on your own. You really don't have too many options, and everything that you try to do on your own just doesn't work all that well. And I am not doing this. Very difficult.
Staging attack on Echo 1.
What the hell? Oh, wow.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
They're pretty souped up.
They're beginning to take a toll. Keep
I like
fighting.
this rotation. Third person.
Delta sector has been seized by
Kind of keeps you on
hostiles.
target. I will agree that the bullet spread, like visually, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can see it. It's a little awkward. Like, you can see that there's a huge spread of bullets, but only
Waiting on your request.
what's directly in the crosshairs, dude. That's a little bit annoying, which I'm sure they'll fix. That's something that's it's a little bit pressing. Trying to lead the shot.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector. We've been routed. Bravo sector is under U.S. control.
Recoils. That's fine.
Our nuke strength is down to
It's
50%.
really hard.
Now attacking Delta 1.
I'm more of a fan, and I probably should do this. I really don't. I don't mind the little pieces on the For me, personally, I think it's probably one of the best Battlefields they've released. That isn't really a sugarcoat. This game has a tremendous amount of potential.
Friendly staging attack on Bravo 1.
I'm having a hard time finding things wrong. And it's there are frustrating aspects, but I really don't. I know it's going to get fixed, and the base part of this game is amazing.
Friendlies are securing objective
And the
Bravo
little
1.
imperfections that are happening that are here, it isn't make or break. I come to expect these things, especially lately. COVID was a huge issue. And the fact that they performed as well as they did and put out a game that's as refined as it is, even under pressure from the community, saying release the game, hurry up, it shouldn't take this long, you guys got people all over the world working on this, blah 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 blah. And it's like, it's a little bit selfish of the community, because I mean this isn't exactly easy. This is literally millions and millions and millions of lines of code. Not to mention the graphic rendering, the time it takes to get all of this to function properly, and
Bravo sector has been seized
I mean
by hostiles.
there's a lot going on here that's not even being looked at.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
And it's kind of sad, a little bit. No one's really appreciating the work that went into what's actually here at the moment. And for me, I appreciate it. I mean, yeah, there's issues, and that's to be expected. And the fact that anyone expected any more out of this on a rushed release that we kind of influenced, it just isn't right. There's only so much a human can do, and there's a lot of like automated systems that do help refine things. And,
Alpha sector now under hostile control.
there's assistance there, but I don't
Hostiles
really agree
invading one
with
of our
the whole
objectives.
backlash of everyone jumping on the developer's back because something, and they find things to complain about. Like I was reading Reddit somewhat recently. I think the Reddit was posted a day ago, and they complain that there's no ATVs or motorcycles on the map. Now there isn't motorcycles that I
They
know
fully occupy
that
Charlie
I
sector.
agree with, but there is ATVs, and there's a lot of static vehicles laying around, like the pickup trucks.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
I think it's Kaleidoscope, the city map. There's like these little electric cars that you can hop in. And, you can get around. Now there aren't many of them, which can be a little bit of a bummer. Especially, can we get the person? Very nice. Good shot. The running between points on the map as a big increase. It is annoying. But if you play smart, a lot of people don't really think, they kind of think Call of Duty-ish, which doesn't really work for
Bravo
Battlefield.
sector fully secure.
We got insert beacons and things that can reduce your running time, and even if they cap
We control most
the
sectors on the
objective,
battlefield.
which right there. My shot looks horrible.
The hostiles have spent half their resources. Our troops have lost an objective.
That and this, the assault rifles
Don't come to me, please!
a little tricky right now. They have the SMG
We've lost an
type
objective to the
recoil,
enemy.
and they shouldn't. But will people jump in?
They have secured
Oh,
Echo
the
sector.
flying fortress.
We're down to our last reinforcements. We cannot give up.
Stop the U.S. forces from conquering every sector.
Yep. Oh,
Staging attack on Echo 1.
nice one.
Begin evacuating NOPAD forces. No use staying now.
But yeah, all in all, I think DICE did a pretty decent job
I'm ready for round
for
two.
the time they had. There's a
Are
lot of
you really
features, like
surprised?
Hazard Zone is epic.
Fights like
That's where you're going to find a lot of the utilization of the features that they gave us in this, especially with the on-the-fly weapon customization and things of that nature. It's significant. Another complaint was this, where you have to kind of like re-queue and rematch make between matches rather than just keeping the lobby you were in. Again, that's it. Yeah, I mean it's a little annoying, but again, you get fresh faces, and
I'm ready if you are.
ultimately, I think what they were going for with this game was they're trying to steer away from lone wolves and people that just are out here to kill and get maximum amount of points and kills and stuff like that. They tried making it more squad based, and they tried implementing like a teamwork mechanic, which under good circumstances works amazing, because if you get into a functional lobby and you can see on the live map overhead that you just this wall of blue dots, green dots, all moving in on objectives and like surrounding the objective, and you see some of them breaking off, going into the objective, capping it, and then you just see the herd. I call it the herd, and you just see them like rolling across the field in like this steel wall of just bullets, tank rounds, helicopter, machine guns, cannons, and jets, and it's a legendary experience, and it's awesome like that. It's what they intended. But there's a lot of people that don't. They appreciate it to a degree, but they don't like that what they did isn't like it doesn't show up like if they got 200 and something kills like in a match. It goes for the people that did the team effort, like most resupplies, most assists, and spots, and stuff of that nature. Like they try to highlight the team that did the most, like helping. They assisted the most, and they pushed the front line forward the most, and stuff of that nature. And there isn't like medals anymore for like collaterals, like where you get multi kills and stuff like that. It looks nice on the kill feed, at least. Like you see a bunch of little red skulls popping up or headshots, and it's like, yeah. And it's personally nice, but then like there's no after screen report saying this is what you did. This is the most damage you've done. Blah 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 blah. Unless you're a passenger to a vehicle, and then it shows the damage you've done over the match, if you do the most damage. But I kind of like it, personally, because it forces people out of the box of, I'm just going to sit in a corner and snipe all match. Which people do anyway. That's the main gripe I have with people complaining about it, is they still play the game like they want to, but they complain that they're not getting enough credit for it. and they kind of lose out on the fact that they're still playing the game how they like to play the game, but they still want to complain that they're not getting enough credit for it, which to me is a little goofy, because it's like, yeah, you're saying you're not getting enough credit for for, for sitting in a spot and just murking people, and you're still doing it. Like, the whole point is to sway you away from doing all that and start working with your squad and moving up with the line and not spawn ganking and stuff like that. But I don't know. People are gonna do what they're gonna do. People are gonna complain about what they're gonna complain about. Personally, I don't really have too many gripes as of yet. Now, if the game stays in this state for longer than, a month or two, while they're picking up like analytical data about what's going on, because they did kind of push this out, and they wanted it to be playable, which it is. Like I said, there are some hiccups, which is unfortunate, but is to be expected. Pretty much any new title game that I've played has had some technical issues. Like I said, I'm not condoning that they're releasing somewhat broken games, but the complexity of the games nowadays are increasingly like that. If I want anyone on Reddit or YouTube or any of these people that are complaining about this and that about a video game, try to code a simple game, kind of like Snake or like ping pong. Just a little dot going back and forth, and try to code that, and take that and multiply it by like a scale of like 500,000 to 1,000,000 times more complicated, and you get this. And tell me how long it takes you to replicate something like this, and then complain about your own work because it's broken, and how frustrating it must be to, have this concept and not have it work properly and have everyone on your ass about it. It's aggravating. So yeah. And as far as I can tell, I mean, there's like weapon wise, yeah, they've got a little bit more limited weapons to choose from, but literally every weapon here could be utilized in some fashion on some map in some situation, and I think that's what they wanted at the start, and they're giving people some options, not overwhelming amount of options, to figure out like how they want to build their class, because there isn't a particular class system anymore. So you got all these different characters. I think the last one you get is at 25, and that's Pike here. And then you got your loadouts, which you can create loadouts. So the limited amount of classes thing, I don't understand that complaint, because you can create your own. Really, you only need those 4 for different types of situations, but you can create your own with your own weapons. So if you got some other guns you're curious about, you can create a class and use that class, and level up that particular weapon as you see fit. Um, there's not too many options at the moment, but there is enough to get you going and to figure out what class you like, what class of guns you like, what how you can utilize it in a match. There's enough here to keep you entertained and to because each one of these options are all you have to rank them up and get the attachments for them and figure out like what the end game version of it is. Um, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of resources online that kind of tell you um, what combination of attachments put on these to make them good. Um, and there's pretty decent value of gadgets and throwables. 42, you unlock the incendiary, anti-tank mines, and you got the SOFLAM, which is a two-person operation, which is a little unfortunate. Again, in a squad, this would be great. You got one guy that tags, one guy that shoots the missile, and there you go. Get yourself some damage and kill. But yeah, there's enough to play with, and to as far as vehicles. As far as vehicles go, again, kind of limited amount of options, but again, plenty to play with, and as far as like customization. There's obviously better things than what I have currently. Like right here, we got a repair system that I haven't gotten on this yet. Thermal smoke package, defeat most sensors. And then yeah, you got your odds and ends. 50 mil cannon, 30 mil cannon, 40 millimeter grenade launcher, which can be fun in medium to close range, just dropping nades everywhere and watching people get launched to the sky. And it's a pretty zippy car too, so you can get in and out of situations pretty quickly. And then obviously you got your minigun, very fast, pretty limited amount of damage. And then yeah, so I mean there's a lot here, and it takes time to unlock and get these things, which for me is completely fine. It forces people to get familiar with what they're playing with, and then like this, you get the heavy machine gun, you get the light machine gun. You can't run off with the machine gun. That some people are complaining about that, like there's no decoupling of the guns. I was like, unless you're Boris, I don't see any soldier running off with like 200, 300 pounds worth of like steel and iron. So I'm not really too shocked that you can't just get up and run off with the machine guns on these. Of course, you get your tow missiles, which is pretty fun if you're good with it. I can see people having a problem with that initially. Yeah, there's plenty of options to play with, and the game is, like I said, literally brand new. This is day 2 of the actual main release. And the fact that people are already complaining that there isn't enough to work with, I don't understand their logic in that. I do understand that prior games like Battlefield 5, 4, they had a pretty big array of weapons and attachments and stuff like that. And as nice as it was to have the options, the likelihood that you're actually going to go through each weapon and upgrade each one to figure out which one you like, when there was literally a giant slew of them to do that with, like, that was more repetitive than this. At least they kind of gave it off in this one in bite-sized chunks. I kind of appreciate that because it gives you a feel for each class, and given that there isn't too many options, you can pick. Because I've noticed this about the weapons in this. They gave you pretty much different tiers of. So this one is a single and burst fire pistol. It's the Glock pretty much. That one is a single fire, but it has, as you can tell on the stat sheet here, it has a little more accuracy, a little bit more firepower. Handling's a lot better. Rate of fire is a little bit lower, obviously. Actually, it's about the same if you got a good trigger finger. And then you get, the Magnum, pretty much. And that's got the biggest bang for the buck, if you're accurate. So they gave you 3 different tiers of what to use. Ascending and power. The rate of fire on that's obviously pretty low. It's a revolver. And then over here we got, close range, full spray, a little more power, a little less rate of fire, but a little bit more accurate. Again, more accurate, less power, and a little more accurate, moderate power, decent accuracy and range. And that's not including attachments. And then you got all 3 tiers of assault rifles. You got the balanced, which I see a lot of people using, which no harsh feelings. And then a little more power, a little less accuracy, a lot more power, a little less accuracy, a little worse handling. And then you get good accuracy, good range, and an incredibly fast rate of fire. You get your single and your burst. So you get, that's where your accuracy comes from. Same thing here, you get balance and power, or you get more power or a little less balance. And they've done this with every class. Like this one, I'm assuming is going to be your like run and gun type situation as far as carbines go. It looks like an Uzi. I understand, but it's the modern assault rifle, I guess, or marksman rifle. And then obviously you got your big hitters here. Magazine size on this one significantly larger than the 5 you get on this. You get more bang for your buck for that one with a little bit less. So, and the same thing with this. You get more power, less mag size. And then obviously you get the most amount of power at the least size of your magazine. And you got this one, same thing. Got your balance, your bang. And then you get your full auto shotgun, which is probably going to be really fun for just clearing out objectives, and especially the ones that are sitting basically on the objective. I can't wait to unlock this. It's at 44. It's around the corner. It's 11 levels away. 10. Yeah, 11 levels. That one's going to be kind of fun to just wreak havoc with. But yeah, there's plenty of options, plenty of ways to play. Dice, whatever you're doing, keep on doing it. Fix your whoops. There's a little bit of a whoops, which is to be expected, but I'm not hating on you for it. I know this is complicated. I know it takes time, refining everything to a nice even playing field is painstakingly annoying, especially since he's spent the last few years trying to develop this and get it out, and having everyone on your case literally all hours of the day from all over the world has got to be quite the discouragement. Like you guys kind of feel like you're fighting an uphill battle because everything you fix, there's always someone to complain about it. But ignore all that. Keep doing a good job. Keep working on your game. And there are a few of us out here that really enjoy it. Me being one. There's a few people that I play with on here. They're disgruntled a little bit about certain things, but overall they're having a blast. They're really enjoying what they got, and they're they're just having a really good time. Minor complaints, the certain breakthrough lobbies, you got to log out, get a new login code, come back in, wait a moment, and go back into breakthrough, and it tends to work. There's certain lobbies that get broken for whatever reason. But I mean, these are all really small things, and I know I'm going to give it like 3 months, and all these problems will be in the distant past, and everyone's going to be having a good time. And that's really what I'm looking forward to. And that's pretty much it. Not really much of a rant. Like I said, there's problems, but overall, the game's great. Whatever their future plans are for it, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see future maps. Can't wait to see future abilities and possibly new characters here. They're probably going to bring in some new weapons, new customization options, stuff like that. Only time will tell, and I'm looking forward to it. That's me. Be safe, have fun, and see you in the next one.